Alright, in today's video, we're going to see if I can make it through without my camera dying. Let's jump into it. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Nice Looking Lights, homeboy. I'm your host, Weaver Beats, and today we'll be making a Pretty Lights style type beat. This is a subject I've been thinking about for a while, and if you guys don't know, Pretty Lights is an organic glitch hop producer. I don't know how else you can really describe his music except for that. I've been listening to him on and off for a very long time, and I never really could decipher how he made his music until recently I started analyzing it and I figured out the formula for it. So here's the formula, guys. It's soul samples plus bass music plus organic drum breaks plus 100 BPM plus lots of instrument variation plus rap acapellas equals Pretty Lights. I know. Very complicated formula. Here's my Pretty Lights styled beat, and now I'll explain to you guys how I went about making it. Okay, so first things first, I picked a song to sample. I picked something with some cool, trippy chords and a nice little melody in it. This is the sample right here. Alright, some things that are going to be your best friend while making this style of music. Some sort of key analysis software like Melodyne, and also Ableton's Tuner. Two things you're going to want very handy because we're going to be meshing lots of shit, and if we're meshing lots of shit, we're going to want it to be in tune, right? And I put some basic glitch hop drums to it just to make sure we're in the right genre here. We want to make sure we're on the right track before we just go all out on it. And yep, this is the right genre. Little basic glitch hop beat here. I programmed it in real quick with Reason. You can do it with Ableton if you want. Just click on the arrangement wherever, and you should have basically the same thing as me. Now that we just have chords and drums, the world is our oyster, really. So we can start building on this. We're gonna record lots of leads. We're gonna record lots of bass lines and lots of just FX sounds. We're gonna throw anything we can on this. Not all at once, obviously. We're just gonna find stuff that works and then mute them for later. For a bass line similar to Pretty Lights, I suggest either taking bass samples, putting them in a drum rack and pitching them, or writing a bass line with a bass guitar or a sub bass, and then taking that to another synth, maybe a few different synths, and splitting apart the notes on them. That way you can get the exact sound you're looking for. While creating this project, I had to use the tuner in Ableton pretty religiously, like pretty much more than I probably had to in my entire music production career for a single song. What I would do is I would go into these drum racks I had with bass samples, and I would tune them all to the key I was in, and I wouldn't tune them only to the root note. I would tune them to different notes in the scale. That way we can play some sort of cool melody or bass line with it. That's not just a basic D note over and over. Also, make sure to keep in mind, not all songs have a diatonic chord progression. We could be changing keys or scales as we go from chord to chord, so make sure to keep that in mind while analyzing your song. So what I ended up doing is I made a bunch of melodies and bass lines to this chord progression here. I gathered up a ton of them, and then I muted them all, and then I started arranging them in a way that I thought sounded good. The climax will be at the end, obviously, and it's gonna be a little breakdown section in the middle. Got a nice little intro, and the last step is rap acapellas. That's right, guys, we need rap acapellas. So I'm gonna find a rap acapella.
Nowadays, everybody wanna talk.
Nope. Never mind. No vocals on my track, guys. Maybe they'll work on yours, but fuck that. You can always layer more samples or riffs as well. Just remember that. I know there's quite a few songs by Pretty Lights that have multiple samples in the same song on top of each other. So that's very possible. Okay, so the mixing and mastering I feel like is really like mixing and mastering any other song. Only main difference is you might want to use more compression or parallel compression on your drums or your bass line, because those are going to be some of the hardest hitting elements in our mix. So we're going to want to beef them up. Okay, now that you guys got it down stat, maybe you guys can make your own Pretty Lights mixtape and send it to me, and I'll review them. Oh, speaking of mixtapes, have you guys heard of this Flume mixtape? More like Flame mixtape, am I right? It was alright. It was actually, I really like the visualizer though. Make sure to hit that sub button, that like button, all the buttons, and check out my social media for updates on music production, and whatnot. Check out my streams every Friday. I also upload videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I've stuck to that schedule for like a year now, so we're going forward that way. I might upload a few extras here and there, maybe sneak in a few live streams on some off days. And I also do game streams on my Twitch almost every weekday. Check that out. I'd say roughly around like 4 or 5 PST. I think that's right. Well, anyways, me and my friend play Apex Legends on there. We need a third person because everyone we group with sucks apparently. So yeah, tune in next time when I quit music and become a pro gamer.